What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is a early Thursday morning, and it's not too early actually. I'm pretty much slacking, but it's like 9 o'clock. No, it's actually 10 o'clock. Okay, so it's not early, but Thursday morning we're off work today, thankfully, and we are headed to, I don't know which Harbor Freight we're gonna go to yet, but we're gonna go to a Harbor Freight and pick up a hole saw kit. I don't have a good hole saw kit and I kind of need one, so I'm gonna grab one of those, and we may grab some other tools, so we'll go over that stuff when we get back. But made the 45-minute voyage to the nearest Harbor Freight, but we're finally here. Guys, this is the one that I need for the bed, but they don't have any big sets other than like this little small one that's honestly looks really cheap in my opinion. So I think I'm just gonna go with just buying a single one for now. And this is usually how it goes every time we come in here. We leave with a lot more stuff than we planned on leaving with. Choo-wee! Went in to buy a hole saw, just one, maybe even a kit, spent $200. Stop at the old Doghouse local bar and get me a steak sandwich with some cheese curds, or cheese balls they call them there. But now we're gonna have some good energy to get this job knocked out today, guys. I made it back to the house, and I just wanna go over some of the stuff that we picked up real quick so you guys know. I did go ahead and pick up some loom for the 79. We're gonna be redoing some wiring on it, so I got some loom for it, new wire strippers, and I also got a new hole saw. For the Fortune, I got a hole saw, 3.5 inch. I didn't have one of those. I have like some random sizes from doing sumps, but I really wanted to find a whole set. Couldn't find a whole set, so I just bought the Hercules 3.5 inch set, and I got a punch set, transfer punch set. Don't have a good one, so I picked one of those up, and then I got a socket adapter set as well, just because I kind of need one. I don't really have a good one. Some heat shrink, and like I said, we're going to be redoing the wiring, so I picked up one of these little stand things that kind of holds all your wire, because normally I buy the stuff and then I use it, and then the roll's just a mess and I just throw it all away. So I bought me a nice little organized stand, and I also bought a terminal assortment kit, 1,000-piece set. These both together weren't even like $80, so I was like, yeah, you can't beat that for the money. So we'll get these opened up and put them somewhere, get all this stuff put away real quick. All right, guys, we got the 13 pulled in here. As you guys can see, this is a Ram box bedside. So I'm really hoping that we don't have to do any measuring inside the bed, because if we have to go left to right inside the bed, I'm scared that the instructions are not gonna be for a Ram box. So I'm kind of sketched out about that right now, but hopefully we can mount that plate into where it needs to go underneath, center punch it from the bottom, and then we can drill a pilot hole from the bottom and then do our hole saw down through the bed liner and everything. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get this opened up real quick, and we'll see where we need to start. I don't know if we need to start with the truck in the air or on the ground, so we'll get this thing pulled up on the lift at some point. So yeah, let's get started, guys. All right, guys, I want to go ahead and show you guys the part number of the kit we're going to be installing. So there you can see, and I have everything all laid out over here. So let's take a look at it. It really doesn't look as bad as what I thought it was going to be. So we have the mounting, the structure of it itself. This is what's going to have the ball inside of it and everything. And then we have, I don't know what it's made out of like plastic, some type of collar. Maybe this goes up in the bed. Our safety chain hookups. I really like the way that the safety chains are going to install on this. They'll go to this plate, so I don't have to mess with drilling like 4 holes in my bed. We'll do the safety chains. Looks like we have some, what's a grade 8 hardware, and springs for that, a little bit of hardware. There's not really a lot here, so hopefully this goes easier than I thought. The worst part, I'm sure, will be drilling the hole. We also got a sticker we'll install somewhere on the truck, so that way, I don't know, somewhere inside the truck we'll install this thing. Maybe like right there or something. I don't know, we'll figure that out here in a second. Your towing adventure begins. Looks like there's a really nice, cool country guy hauling a big-ass tractor. And then we have the drill guide. Oh, this is the guy. I gotcha. So this is gonna tell us where to drill the holes at, maybe. Safety chain drill guide, cool. And then the instructions themselves. So I'm gonna start going over these guys. All right, guys. Now, although it's not necessary, it will make the video process a lot better and your life a lot easier if you take the time and remove the spare tire. Most of what you're gonna be doing, you can stand up where the spare tire is and do the work. Otherwise, you're gonna reach around the drive shaft and exhaust. For the time that it's going to take you, and it's a newer truck probably that you're going to be working on, just take it out. And it's a good time to inspect the spare tire anyways. A 14 6-point socket will fit right on to the spare tire. key if your truck's already in the air like mine, which is, I do that all the time. I'll put stuff in the air and then I forget to get it out and have to climb up in it. But a 14 socket with an impact gun is the fastest way to get it out. 6 point. So we'll just drop it real quick. Now another thing I'm also going to do is remove this heat shield, just because it's going to be so easy to get it out of the way. So you guys can see up in here, that big heat shield, just a couple bolts to pull it off. So we'll go ahead and pull it off too. Guys, exhaust hangers can be pretty tricky to get off, especially when they're older, but a little trick here is to just use some penetrating lube and soak the rubber isolator hanger, whatever you want to call it. I mean, soak it good. And as you guys can tell, I'm having extreme difficulties doing this. Guys, I've removed 3 of the hangers, and it's still not really sagging like I'd like to. Which is a good thing while I'm driving. You know, I don't have to worry about the exhaust coming loose, but to aid me in getting this thing dropped down a little bit, I'm just going to put a ratchet strap on it and just pull it down a little bit. What I did, I used a center punch, I pulled that thing out, reinstalled it, and I think I'm just going to be more comfortable if I just drill through the template without using the center punch to start. And yeah, it lines up no matter what way you put that in there, it lines up perfect every time with the hole that I center punched. So we will drill this hole and we'll move to the top. Guys, this part's gonna be pretty painful for me to do, but I know it's right, so it takes a lot of question out of it. I've actually installed some of these kits before, and it wants you to basically measure off the inside of the bed. So it sucks not having a template, which on these is nice because I know it's exactly where it needs to be with that little template thing that it gave me. So let's get this all knocked down. All right, we're through. Here we go. We're through our pilot hole. Jeez, come on. There it is. All right guys, truck is back in the air, and the next step is to install this little spacer block. I think this is just so that way you don't smash the bed down. Because that bed, guys, is paper thin, so looks like this guy goes up in there next, and then it wants us to set our fastener handles up underneath the truck, and then install the center section, this piece here. So hopefully this thing will fit. All right, guys, the spacer block's installed. You have to go from the front side and kind of knock it into place, but you guys can see it goes in between this cross member and the bed floor itself. So right in there. All right, guys, so the slots, you just take them and you slide them, the driver's side, you do both of them basically through the fender well. The driver's side one, you have to kind of struggle a little bit to get it over this harness here. Try not to pinch anything. And then they just kind of fall down in these slots up in here. And then you can see our 3 bolts are up in there on each side. So now we have to try and fit the big center section up in there and get some of the bolts started. It is pretty heavy, and I'm worried that we're going to be rubbing it on the exhaust. So let's see what happens. Guys, this is gonna make your life a lot easier to get this installed if you run a file around all those holes, because it is so tight where this ball comes through that it took like all the strength we had pushing up on this thing to get the bolts started, but we got them started. Mason's grabbing a socket right now. We'll get them all tightened down. I'm gonna see if there's a torque spec on them. I don't know if there is or not. It's probably gonna be as tight as we can get it. If not, I don't know. If I see a torque spec, I'll put it right here below. Alright guys, plate is installed and all the bolts are as tight as I could get them, and it's pretty freaking tight. They all have Loctite already on them. And you can see the little bar we got to install, so that way you can do the flip over. I don't really understand how that works. We got our B&W sticker installed, and we're about to run the handle through right here. Where Mason's at. He's getting the bracket all put together so you can do the turnover. Alright guys, the latch is all bolted together there. Just want to make sure you don't pinch any of these wires or anything, there's quite a bit of wires that run through all this stuff, so just want to be sure of that. And then you want to go ahead and pull out on it. We'll show them how it works. So you go over, and then it's locked. You can move your ball out, and then you release it. You just let it back in. So. All right, guys, and this is how it wants us to install the safety chain, or to drill. All right, guys, this is how it wants us to drill the holes for the safety chains. It wants you to do it from the top. What size? Half inch. Hope I have a half inch. And you'll basically just set this down in here and push this down real even. We want to be sure we're nice and even on it. And this is the 13-14 kit. So we will use these two holes right here, boom, boom, and then this one over here, boom. That one's not quite a hole yet, but you guys get the point. So we use our center punch, and we will drill these holes to half inch. Alright guys, had to go get a new drill bit and a new fresh banana milkshake, but we're now good to finish drilling these freaking holes out so we can set these down in here, lift it up in the air. Alright guys, and that is going to conclude and wrap up our install on the B&W flip over hitch. Looks pretty freaking clean in there, but we are actually going to go hook this thing up to a gooseneck trailer real quick and verify that it fits good, and make sure that the truck doesn't need, we don't have to adjust the trailer or anything, because we are going to be taking this thing on a pretty big trip coming up here soon. So we want to make sure everything's good. We don't want to wait until the last second, hook it up and be like, well, we got to adjust all this stuff. And it also needs moved because it's stuck, and Mason's truck doesn't have four-wheel drive.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Guys, we're all hooked up to the trailer. Just taking it around the block real quick and making sure everything is good, but no trailer connection lights or anything on the dash, so we'll be good when we go on our trip here in a couple weeks. Everything look good? Where are you looking at? I don't like when you do that. Oh, okay. You're freaking scaring me. But Yeah guys, so we're just taking it around the block real quick, but everything looks good. Actually, you need to see if the trailer brakes are working. Here you go. It doesn't feel like they're working. Nothing even happens, that's weird. Yeah, it's not even doing it. Cool, so.
Might be the trailer.
Might be the trailer, you think?
Did that to Bailey's.
Did it on Bailey's truck too? I mean, it feels like it stops good, but it's hard to tell without a load on it, you know? I know when it's unhooked, it'll let you adjust the gain. I don't know what it won't do with the trailer. It's weird. Long time no see. Long time no see. What are the chances that it would cold start right now?
I don't have any either. It ain't.
Yeah, it ain't gonna start. What's that thing? We need to check this thing out. You taking this thing for a spin or what? Dude, yes. Oh, yeah. That's what, oh, yeah. There it is. Oh, yeah, dumping it. Oh, dumping coal, boy. All right, guys, it is now the end of the day. We just went and grabbed some dinner, sprayed the truck off, and Bailey actually has his 01 up here on the lift, and he's gonna be putting a wheel bearing and some other stuff on it. Don't really know if I'll record much of that, but I'm just enjoying myself an adult beverage here and getting some tools cleaned up. And I think I'm gonna go through and start organizing my wiring assortment. 1,000 piece, but all this stuff was individual, so I gotta go through this stuff and clean it all up, so. All right, guys, that is gonna wrap up the end of this video. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We appreciate each and every one of you guys watching and subscribing to the channel. But for now, see you guys on the next one.